All right, man. Welcome to Crow Discovery Project. We have another eyewitness with some footage of the fraud rocket launches that have been happening down in Florida. This one covers last December's SpaceX launch, where SpaceX put out the news that it successfully launched a rocket to space and then successfully landed it. We have footage here, and again, it's shot at night with an iPhone, so I don't want people to get all excited that you're going to see a Hollywood production here. What you see is the light come back on as, I guess, a rocket is coming back down. Then the people watching it start saying it exploded. People at the beach begin to yell, and you hear one hell of a boom. And the eyewitnesses claim that SpaceX Falcon 9 did not successfully land. It blew up. So he also corroborates what Jess said, our last rocket eyewitness. So there are some people out there that maybe need to start thinking about apologizing to Jess because you treated her so brutally, trolling. Although I suspect this won't be enough evidence for you, I'll quote another agent of the system, Mr. Jim Morrison, whose father started the Vietnam War. You better take a look around, see which way the wind blow, because this rocket launch nonsense is going to come to an end. I'm getting contacted by huge numbers of people who want to give me video, who are eyewitness testimony. There's a lot of people out there who have seen this and realize these rockets are not going to space. But let's jump in. I talk with Jason to get his eyewitness testimony, and again, he corroborates what Jess, our last eyewitness, told us, and then I will run the video at the end. And I'm not going to say it's compelling. I'm not going to say anything about it. You can be the own judge. But something blows up, man, and I take people at their word. So let's jump in. All right, man, I've got Jason on the phone here. He has sent me a video, and get this. Not only is he going to corroborate what Jess said, because he has witnessed a number of rocket launches that are not going to space, he has video that he shot. And here's the headline for the SpaceX video that he filmed. And by the way, in his video, the rocket is exploding. You can hear the audio of it blowing up. And the headline for that day was in December, I think it's December 21st, 2015, was SpaceX successfully landed its Falcon 9 rocket after launching it to space. So let's jump in because we've got a terrible connection. How are you, Jason?
I'm doing great, Crow. Great to be on the phone with you.
Right on, man. Can you describe what you witnessed that day and what you filmed?
Yeah, we went down there to watch this launch because it was going to be that big one, that they finally land on the land. I think they had two failed barge attempts before this. This is going back pretty far in my memory. But yeah, so we watched this rocket, and up until then, every rocket I had ever seen either heads between 5 degrees north and 90 degrees east. Every rocket, it always goes in that direction. So that corroborates with what Jen was saying. I mean, she's obviously seeing those northern ones, and I'm down here in Titusville area, so
So
I can.
she's further north of you.
Yeah, she said Jacksonville, so that's about 2 hours north of me. Or yeah, if you're driving. So yeah, I can actually see it sitting still on the pad before it takes off. That's my point of view.
So actually, this is very interesting. Some people are gonna owe Jess an apology because Jess is quite a bit further north, and she sees it come up the coastline, which would be headed north from where it was launched, and then where she's at, she can see them make a hard turn and go out over the ocean. But you're not far enough north, but you can confirm that you were seeing them go up the coastline.
That's right. Yeah, I've actually stood there with my compass and kind of tried to gauge the orient, and it's about 5 or 10 degrees northeast is about as straight north as they head. So that's right up the coast.
Hey, have you ever seen one traveling in a way that would make you think it was going to space, or what do you see?
I see them going horizontal until I can't see them anymore. I mean, obviously they go up for a bit, but instantly they're curving. They're making an arc to the east or northeast, and then they kind of level out until you just can't see them anymore, just because the atmosphere's thick and they've usually been chemtrailing for a week prior to that. So they do a real good job of obscuring everything. And they did a test launch of the new Apollo, or what's it called? Not Apollo, the Orion capsule. I think that was about a year ago. They did a test launch of that, and it was cloudier than I have ever seen it in Florida that day. All you could hear is a rumble. You couldn't see the rocket at all, not even the flame from it. So,
Yeah,
but
I know where you're coming from because there's been so many times when there's been like some big lunar event I wanted to film and they chemtrail the dickens out of us. But let's pull this back around to the footage you've handed me
oh yeah,
because it's pretty clear that what the news showed is not what you witnessed. And I've said for a long time this is a numbers game. A few thousand people may understand they're being lied to because they're sitting there watching what's going on, but a few hundred million are watching what's on the news. So SpaceX was
yep.
telling everyone that this Falcon 9 launch back in December went up to space and then successfully landed back on Earth. What did you witness? What did you film?
I'll cut to the chase with it. I watched the thing crash. I watched the thing crash and blow up. And then about 20 seconds later, which is how long it takes it's how long it takes the sound to reach you. Like if you're watching it launch, you'll see the rocket, and then about 20 to 30 seconds later, you'll hear it start to rumble. Well, this thing, it was coming down hot, and the flame kicked back on, and the flame didn't slow it down much at all. And then we saw a bright orange glow. I mean, looked like the whole island up there lit up. And I was 11 miles south when this happened. So just the whole island up there lit up orange, and you could hear people on the beach just screaming and cheering. And then, sure enough, 20 or 30 seconds later, you hear a very ominous explosion. And don't anybody out there be thinking that's the sonic boom, because I mean, if it was a sonic boom coming into the atmosphere, I would have heard it from an upward angle. I heard that explosion like it was right in front of me, right where I saw that orange glow.
Right. It's
And then,
it's pretty clear it's not a sonic boom. I used to live in
yeah,
San Diego. I know there's a huge difference between an explosion and a sonic boom, but not only
yeah,
that, you just described that you see the kind of rocket burn come back on. You can actually see that in the video. It looks like maybe the you're using a phone or something to film it and it's trying to autofocus,
yeah,
but
just iPhone.
yeah, all of a sudden you see the burn just like pop on and then I can
Yeah,
hear the audio saying it's crashed, or it's going to blow up or something like that. And then, like you say, 15, 20 seconds later, there is a massive kaboom. So, I mean, are you flat out stating that you have seen what they passed off on the news and you witnessed something wholly different than what SpaceX was showing the world?
180 degrees different. A utter lie is what the SpaceX has shown about that landing. And my wife was actually the one holding the phone, and she was saying and thinking the same thing I was, and we talked about it for a while after that. And then we even were talking to one of the neighbors, just as real down to earth surfer dude, got the board on his SUV and everything. He's like, we were down there at the fishing pier talking about it, and he's like, I I don't know about that landing. Like they say it went good, but I think it blew up. I saw it blow up. And me and my wife, we just start grinning ear to ear. We're like, we know exactly what you're saying, man, because that's exactly what happened.
Well, here's something crazy. My email has been blowing up today, and there is an intended pun there because today we are told a SpaceX launch blew up on the pad,
Oh,
destroying the rocket and the thing. But everyone was emailing me saying, "Do you suppose they did that on purpose because they're starting to catch on? So many people are down there getting ready to film them, lie to everybody."
yep, yep. Well, that explosion was something else. I heard it loud and clear where I was.
Oh
I mean
wow.
that thing really blew. And I was interviewing a guy. He was down on the fishing pier, uh, where I'm at now in Titusville. You can actually see the lightning rods and the rocket sitting there. So he actually saw the whole thing go down. He happened to be looking that direction, and yeah, he said the explosion was just out of hand, and it burned and burned for a while afterwards. I'm not sure how they got it out, but they released a video of it blowing up. It looks like they had a security camera or something pointed that direction, and
Right.
they said it happened during a test fire, but there was no the explosion in the video I saw. It
Is
was
it
like
at the
right below the tip.
right at the nose? That's what I saw
Yeah,
too. You know.
yeah. There wasn't even a flame coming out of the bottom, and just all of a sudden the thing self-destructed.
Well, I've also got people. I've got two things going on. People are handing me footage that makes it look like this little black dot hauling butt hits it and makes it explode. So who knows if that's edited or real, but that'll be knowable thing pretty quick. But I also have another person saying that they filmed with their own device, filmed the explosion, so not news footage. So there's
Right.
that to look forward to. But so let's pull it around while we still have a good Skype connection here. I mean, you've witnessed a large number of rocket launches. In your opinion, are any of these launches going to space?
No, I've never seen anything that looks like it's going to space. With the, I gotta talk about the December launch. It's the only one that I've ever seen go straight up, and I don't know how high space is or what a rocket would look like in space, but I saw a flame go up to the vanishing point, and as soon as that flame kind of went out, then the first stage started falling back down. And then after the explosion and all that happened, me and my wife stood there and watched right where we saw the flame go out way up high, and we watched. I have no other way to describe this other than 3 to 5 orbs, just balls of light, very, very far away, just kind of darting in every which direction. Like
Huh.
probably miles in each direction, and just kind of staying in that general area. And we stood there and watched them until our necks hurt.
Wow.
These orbs up there. Now I know I probably sound crazy, but
Well, you're talking to a person who's filmed orbs, so I don't really
right.
care. I don't really care what people think. If that sounds crazy to them, maybe it's just because they don't have any experience. I've actually
Yeah.
filmed an orb in chemtrails doing what looks like shooting, literally shooting some kind of a plasma beam into a chemtrail. I used to film orbs a lot. They're not as easy to find as they used to be in the earlier days of chemtrails, but you can talk about orbs all you want. If that's what you witness, that's what you need to talk about.
Right. Yeah. That's the one launch I've ever seen that actually went high.
So
Um,
it didn't arc, it went straight
no.
up.
Yeah, no arc whatsoever. That sucker, it went straight up, and then it was like it was being played in reverse. It just came right back down, right where it went up from. I mean, it looked just like the launch, except there was no flame for part of the fall, and then the flame kicked on, and then kaboom.
So then we see the headline: SpaceX successfully landed its Falcon 9 rocket after launching it to space.
Yeah.
So you actually see this false news being presented to everybody. I mean, do you get a sense that there are a lot of people in your area that are kind of have caught on to what's going on here, or do you think people are, in light of what they're witnessing, do you think they're still fooled?
I think they're still fooled. I don't get the vibe from anybody that everybody is just totally 100% space around here, and I think it's because it's a big part of the economy, and I've just I don't get that hint from anybody except me and my wife around here, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a crazy. It's a bit like chemtrails. We had the CIA director flat out admit the technology is out there and even talk about the things we've been saying are going on. And I still have people coming to the channel wanting to act like chemtrails are a myth.
Yeah,
The spell that gets
yeah,
cast around these things is like a sleeping potion or something.
yeah,
But anyhow, so just to sum up, back in December, SpaceX launched a Falcon 9. They showed footage and made the claim on the headlines that they successfully went to space and successfully landed the rocket Jason is an eyewitness who said he witnessed it blowing up, which is
and my wife and talked to the neighbor dude.
right. So there it is. And also, Jess was an eyewitness to two rocket launches, and she was ridiculed and treated mercilessly by people on my channel for stating what she witnessed. And here Jason is corroborating exactly what she said. While Jason is not far enough north to see what she called a right turn out over the ocean, Jason can confirm that he is seeing these rocket launches go up the coastline as Jess stated.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. That's what I'm seeing.
Hey man, you know where to find me. If you have more to add at some point, or you end up filming or witnessing more of these rocket launches, you know, there's only so many of us that are willing to stand up and challenge this nonsense. So anything you're going to add, I'm all ears, man.
All right. All right. Sounds good.
Thank you so much.
All right. You too. Goodbye.
This is different.
Oh, and it just went out.
No, it's good.
I know it's coming down, but
It's coming down. Watch it. It's like playing it in reverse.
I want it to land on me.
honey, it's not gonna land on you.
It won't, honey.
Can we go super far?
Oh, that is so cool.
It's totally crashing into the ocean. right
Yes,
now.
and it's not. I'm not getting it on video at all. But
You're getting a.
It's moving away.
Yeah, it's crashing.
Hey, it's hiding.
Yeah.
It's hiding again.
shh.
There it is again. See it?
It's going around again. It's hiding.
Quiet. Oh, we should have went to the beach.
Mommy, why can't you tell us to be quiet?
See that orange? Oh, it totally just blew up right now.
People at the beach are screaming.
Yeah, I can hear them.
Oh my god.
It just blew up.
All right, man. So there it is. There's the video that these folks shot, and their testimony is that the Falcon 9 came down and blew up. Let me say this before I end the clip. You can disagree with what's being said here. I don't care about that. Everyone's entitled to do whatever they want to do. But if you're rude to these eyewitnesses again, you're going to get booted off the channel. Be cool or don't be here. I'm going to work as hard as I can to show what I believe is complete fraud with every rocket launch that's ever been demonstrated to the public. If you have a differing opinion, I welcome the discourse. But again, fair warning, do not be rude to the people who are standing up to share what they witnessed. There it is, man. Cheers.